Welcome to the Drainage Water Management Planning Process module. This is Kelly Nelson at the University of Missouri Greenlee Research Center near Novelty, Missouri. You have been learning about basic drainage concepts, tools, and resources. The objective of this module is to determine what is needed when visiting with a producer or landowner about drainage water management. This module will focus on the planning stage of drainage water management. Preparation is an essential part of the planning process. It is important to explain not only the roles and responsibilities of the client, but also understand the roles and responsibilities of NRCS. In the preparation phase, we need to adequately define the area of interest on a map. We need to assemble the necessary information for planning, identify the items that are needed for the first field visit, and also make a firm commitment with the client for the initial drainage water management planning session. There are some important pre-planning items that should be reviewed. First off, what is the basic information is needed from the client? What background information was assembled to initiate planning? And who has the decision-making authority for the conservation plan? It is important to understand and review the process and expected benefits of drainage water management. Details on the benefits of drainage water management will be covered in Module 4, entitled Drainage Water Management Concepts and Land Suitability. Drainage water management is used to control soil water table elevations and the timing of water discharge from the subsurface drainage systems. This is beneficial when it comes to improving water quality, for improving the soil environment, for vegetative growth and crop growth, reducing the rate of oxidation of organic soils, preventing wind erosion, and also enabling shallow flooding or surface watercourse flows for fish and wildlife habitat. Drainage water management is part of a producer's overall conservation plan. The plan may include other practices such as nutrient management, pest management, riparian buffers, and erosion control structures. This is just a list of a subset of practices available to producers. NRCS has over 150 conservation practice standards, which are candidates for inclusion in a site-specific conservation plan. Understanding how drainage water management works is addressed in a regional question and answers guide for the Midwest, WQ 44. A review of this publication will provide very applied answers regarding drainage water management for various regions in the Midwestern United States. We will focus today on the kinds of information to gather in the initial planning stages with a producer. What is needed for a person creating a drainage water management plan, i.e. a CAP 130. Implementation and management will be covered in subsequent sections of various modules and the hands-on training program that will be provided later. What is actually needed from the landowner to determine if drainage water management is suitable? Any thoughts? One of the most important pieces of information that can be obtained is an existing tile map. Tile maps may be estimates of the location of mains and laterals. They may know the products that went into that were installed in the field, and there may be estimates on the size of pipes that were utilized in those fields as well. There are several areas in the United States where new subsurface drainage systems are being designed, such as North and South Dakota, Missouri, and other states with extensive subsurface tile drainage. Drainage water management should be considered when planning new drainage systems or when a wetland determination is requested in order to improve subsurface drainage. A retrofit system should identify the location of mains and laterals. This will aid in the determination of the amount of area affected by drainage water management. A topographic map is also necessary to accurately place water level control structures and determine the land area that is affected by drainage water management. As we can see, there may not be specific locations and measurements, but there are several tools that are available to help us in the assistance of determining where various mains and laterals may be running in certain fields. If the placement of a control structure in the middle of a field is going to be a problem, this needs to be determined and addressed from the beginning of the plan. As we can see, the placement along the middle of this field or right at the edge of this field may be an issue for the farmer. The design of that system should be modified accordingly to the goals of the given producer. What problems and opportunities does drainage water management assess? This will be related to the client's input for crop responses and environmental stewardship. Knowledge and experience on the fit of drainage water management is affected by the soil type, water movement in the soils, landform, slope, and several other factors. Opportunities may exist for depending upon the Soil and Water Conservation District's long-range plans, their annual plans and priorities, as well as area conservation plans. And finally, the availability of local information on drainage water management and the benefits of drainage water management in that region. A producer's objectives may include ways to enhance yield or conserve water for crop use later in the season. The producer's objective should involve one of the purposes listed in Conservation Practice 554, drainage water management. The development and understanding of these objectives with the client is important for not only understanding how future conditions are affected by the existing conditions. This involves understanding of desired resource uses, both on and off-site, ecological protection, as well as resource problem reductions. Sufficient data collection and information are gathered to analyze the natural resource conditions in the drainage water management planning area. Again, drainage water management is part of an overall resource management system that involves the management of resources and integrates the kinds, amounts, and timings of management activities. Analyzing and understanding available resource data is important in the planning of a drainage water management system. A clear understanding of the soil data, how topography, water movement occurs in the soils is important for appropriate implementation of drainage water management. Other considerations that need to be taken in, that need to be other items that need to be considered include what design alternatives are available for a new system. Also, what is the most appropriate placement of control structures for an existing drainage system, especially if it's a retrofit system. Are there alternatives that need to be formulated and evaluated? Farming around a control structure can be quite a challenge. This will depend upon the equipment size of a farmer, the marking of water level control structures, as well as access to the control structure. This is important for adequate management of the system. If the placement of control structure in the middle of a field is going to be a problem, then working with the farmer and the planning stage is important to not only meet the goals of the farmer, but also to accomplish the effective implementation of drainage water management. Our clients determine the alternatives to implement, and the client also selects the appropriate plan that will work best for their operation, while the planner provides the necessary documentation which is recorded in the client's plan. While the development and implementation of a drainage water management plan is not the focus of this module, it is important to understand what is required for development and implementation to help the planner troubleshoot issues that may be resolved in the planning stage. For instance, understanding that a wetland determination map is important as part of the drainage water management plan, and identifying fields as wetlands under the Food Security Act of 1985 is an important part of the planning stage. Site location and general information such as soils, water movement in the soils is important in this stage. Understanding the objectives of the landowner, as well as a clear understanding of what drainage water management can accomplish, is important in the planning stage for all the parties involved. A soil map and clear field boundaries need to be identified in that planning stage. A tile map is important to not only locate mains and laterals, but also identify tile diameters and tile materials that were utilized in the installation process, if they are available. Delineation of the drained area can then be determined based upon that information, as well as a topographic map. Integrating these maps and overlaying maps is an important component of the development of that water management plan. And then finally, coming up with a management plan that will be one of the later stages of drainage water management. Finally, a summary of the control systems includes a table of the acres controlled by each proposed control structure. This allows the evaluation of the plan to describe the effectiveness of the implemented plan and provide action on where improvements are needed. Is the drainage water management system functioning as it was planned? Are the objectives of the system being achieved? This ensures that the contract is being adequately followed. Drainage water management should be packaged as one plan. Deliverables to the NRCS field office include a complete hard copy and electronic copy of the client's plan, a typical NRCS conservation practice standards that need to be included in a drainage water management plan may include 554, 587, 590, 606, 607, 608, 644, 646, 657, 658, 659, and 747. Last but not least, we are building our plan so that we can ultimately evaluate the drainage water management plan. Evaluation allows the effectiveness of the implemented plan to be determined and provides action on where improvements are needed. Is the drainage water management system functioning as planned? Are the objectives of the system being achieved? This ensures that the contract is being followed and provides feedback on the progress of implementation and management. When actual results differ from anticipated results, feedback into the planning process allows revision of quality criteria or other data and allows for changes to current standards and specifications. Thank you for participating in the Drainage Water Management Planning Process module.